Hello, I am Mrs. Stedman and welcome back to American Sign Language class. This is lesson 3. Today, as I promised, we will be learning numbers 11 to 20, and then we're going to talk about home and family. We will learn words to say who's in your family, where you live, and to talk about the different rooms and some of the items in your home. After learning the vocabulary, at the end of the lesson, we'll have some activities with your worksheet. So I hope you have your worksheet ready. And we will start by learning numbers 11 to 20. Now, like I said, in American Sign Language, we can sign every number on one hand. So we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And those should be on your worksheet from last week. To do 11, we're going to turn our hand this way with the palm facing us, and we're going to flick our finger. 11. 11 is 2 ones, so we're going to flick the number 1 2 times. 11. For 12, do the same thing, but with 2 fingers. 12. For 13, we're going to kind of do a flick. It gets a little harder the more fingers you get, so you're just going to kind of bend these fingers forward a couple times. 13. For 14, bend them forward a couple times. Now for 15, make sure you're making a number 5 with your thumb out, and then bend the fingers forward. 15. Okay, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now notice the only difference between 14 and 15 is this thumb. So be very careful that with 14 it's in and with 15 it's out. 15. Now for 16, 17, 18, and 19, there's a couple different ways to do it depending on where you live, but the way I'm going to show you will be understood no matter where you are in the country. So do a 10 shape and then show 6 for 16 because 10 plus 6 is 16. 10 and 6, 16. The same for 17, 18, and 19. Sometimes you might just see people kind of twist the number 6 and that's 16, or twist for 17. That's pretty common too, so you can just twist it back and forth as well. For 20, you're going to take your thumb and finger and just tap them together twice. 20. Okay, let's do all of those 11 through 20 together. Ready? 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Now, so if you are 11 or 12 or 13 or 14 years old and someone asks how old you are, just like we talked about last week, you can just touch your chin and show the number. So I'm 11 or 12 or 14 or 20 or however old you are. Now let's learn some words about families. First of all, the word family. Make the letter F with both of your hands. You're going to put them together and bring them around in a circle shape. In American Sign Language, whenever we talk about a group of people, we're going to use a circle shape. So if you just use kind of like C hands and go around, this is the word for group. If you use T hands, that means team. And if you use your F hands, that means family. So we will learn words about our family. Now, who is in your family? Families usually have both boys and girls. To sign boy, take your hand and push it together in front of your forehead like you're wearing a baseball cap. Boy. For girl, you're going to take the A shape and move it down by your chin. This is kind of like how back in the olden days, girls would often wear bonnets and they would tie the strings around their chin. So boy is like a cap, and then girl is kind of like a bonnet. Boy and girl. Now, because of these signs, whenever we talk about boys, we're going to sign around our head. And whenever we talk about girls, we're going to sign around our chin. So, many families have a father. You're going to take your hand and put it on your head. Father, father. For mother, do the same thing, but put it on your chin. Mother, mother. What about a brother? Now, a brother is a boy, so we're going to touch your head, and then you're going to come down and put your fingers together. This means same. So a brother is someone in the same family as you. Brother. And for sister, touch your chin and then put your fingers together, just like you did for brother. So brother is a boy in the same family. Sister is a girl in the same family. And then for baby, just what you would naturally do. Pretend like you're holding a baby. You might have a baby in your family. Father, mother, brother, sister, baby. Next, we're going to learn signs about our homes. I'm going to take you on a tour of my home, but first, let's learn the question, where do you live? To sign where, put one finger up and wiggle it back and forth. Put your eyebrows down and tilt your head forward. Where? Make your mouth look like you're about to say the word where. W. So make kind of like an O. Where? Where? To say live, make two hands with A shapes. Start down and go up your chest. Live. Live. Now in sign language, when you ask a question, you put the question word at the end, or sometimes at the beginning and the end. So you can say, where you live. Where? Or, you live where? Now, if you live in a house, sign house by making your flat hands show the roof and the walls. If you live in an apartment, just spell A-P-T, short for apartment. So you can say, I live in a house, or I live in an apartment. House, apartment, apartment. All right, now I'm going to take you on a tour of my home and teach you some home signs. Then we'll come back to the classroom and repeat the signs one more time. So if you missed some of them, don't worry, we'll do them again. Hi, welcome to my home. To say welcome, take your hand and move it in like you're inviting someone into your house. Welcome. To, take one finger and move it to the other. To, welcome to my home. A home is where you eat and sleep. Put those two motions together quickly and you get home. Welcome to my home. This is the door. To show door, pretend one hand is a wall and one hand is a door. Move it back a little bit like you're opening a door. Door. And then you can sign open the door or close the door. Or if there's two doors like at the store, they might slide open and closed, or two doors can open. You can use your hands to show what the door looks like. Open the door, close the door. Come on, I'll show you my home. This is the living room. For living room, make an L shape and brush it up your chest in like a small circle. Living room. This is the living room. To say this, just point to what you're talking about. To say is, take one finger, put it on your chin, and move it out. Is. Now in English, we usually say, I am, you are, this is, but in sign language, it's all the same sign. We use one finger from our chin to say is, am, are. It's all the same. So this is the living room. This is a couch. Take two fingers and make them sit on your other two fingers. This is the sign for sit. If you tap it a couple times, it's chair. And then you show the shape of a couch. So a couch is something you sit on that's long. Or maybe your couch is short. Or maybe it bends. You use your hands to show the shape of your couch. So this is a couch. This is a light or a lamp. Take your F hand, flick your chin a couple times. Light or lamp. These are pictures. Take a C hand, put it by your eye to show that it's something you look at, and then put it on your hand like you're taking a picture of what you see and putting it on paper. Picture. Couch. Light. Picture. This is the living room. This is the bathroom. Take a T hand and shake it back and forth. Bathroom. This is also how you sign toilet. The T hand back and forth. Maybe your teacher has you do this in school if you have to go to the bathroom. This is a bathtub. Show bath by taking two A shapes and moving them up and down like you're washing. Bath, and then to sign tub, just spell it. Bath, tub. This is also the sign for bathe. Or maybe you like a shower instead. Take your hand and flick it over your head a couple times, like you're taking a shower. This is the bathroom. This is the kitchen. To sign kitchen, you're going to sign the word cook. To show cook, take one flat hand and flip it back and forth in the other flat hand, like you're stirring or flipping something in a pan. And then sign the word room. Take your flat hands and show two walls and two more walls. Four walls usually make a room. So a kitchen is a cooking room. Or sometimes people take a K shape and flip it back and forth like you're cooking, but K for kitchen. So you can sign cooking room or kitchen. A kitchen is where you cook your food. To sign food, take your hand and bring your fingers together and put it by your mouth like you're eating. Food, or the same thing for eat. To show food, tap it a couple times. To show eat, just move it once. These are the stairs. Just move your fingers like someone walking to go upstairs or downstairs, depending on what you're talking about. If you live in an apartment, you might have an elevator. Take two fingers like a person standing and move your hand up and down. Elevator. Sometimes people use the letter E for elevator and move that up and down instead. Elevator or elevator. Upstairs, downstairs. This is the bedroom. The sign for bed, you take your hand and lay your head on it like you're sleeping. Bed, bed, room. Sign bed and put it with the sign for room. This is my bedroom. To sign sleep, take your hand and move it down in front of your face. Close your eyes and put your head down like you're sleeping. Sleep. This is my bedroom, where I sleep. You might also play in your bedroom. Take two hands in Y shapes and twist them back and forth. Play. This is where I sleep and play.
bedroom.
Okay, that was a lot of vocabulary, so let's review it all together. First, where? Do you live? Where? House. Apartment. Welcome. Welcome. Home. Home. Door. Door. Open the door. Close the door. Welcome to my home. Living room. Living room. Light. Picture. Couch. Bathroom. Bathroom. Bathe or bathtub, shower, and toilet. Kitchen or kitchen. Cook, food, eat. Stairs, upstairs or downstairs. Elevator or elevator. Bedroom, bed, sleep, and play. Now we're going to move on to the worksheet. But before we do, have you ever wondered about deaf houses? How they know if someone's at the door if they can't hear knocking or a doorbell? Well, deaf people usually have lights attached to their doorbells so that when someone is at the door, they can see the light flash. The light might be over the door or it might be somewhere else in their house. Sometimes they even have a little device that they can put in their pocket that buzzes, that they can feel when someone knocks or rings the doorbell. Deaf people are pretty smart when it comes to making inventions that make life easier. Okay, now pull out your worksheet and take a look at it. You should see a picture of a family with a father, a mother, a brother, and a baby. Behind them is an apartment and a house. I'm going to tell you to circle 3 things in the picture, but I'm going to tell you in sign language, so watch closely. After you circle them, check back, and I'll give you the answers in English. Okay. First of all, look at this family. This family lives in a circle the very good. Okay, secondly, I want you to look at the family and circle the and last of all, I want you to put a box around the You should have circled the house, the mother, and put a box around the brother. For the second part of the worksheet, I want you to draw or take a picture of your family and then find someone in your home and use sign language to tell them about your family. You can use your voice while you sign if they don't understand sign language. So I want you to draw a picture and then say, "This is my family." And then point to who's in your family and say, "I have." So for example, I would say, "I have a father, a mother, and 3 brothers." And then you would sign who's in your family. So your answers should look like this. This is my family. I have may be father, mother, brother, sister, or baby. All right, great job today. I know that was a lot of vocabulary, but I hope it's words that you can use. As you go around your home this week, use the signs that we've practiced with your family and with the things in your house. I hope you're enjoying sign language, and I will see you next time. Bye.